Good morning. Happy day one of Vlogmas, everybody. So in case you missed this video right here, which was my final standalone workout review, I talked about what I was going to be doing in Vlogmas. So let's do like a quick 30-second recap. So while I am going to be filming every day for Vlogmas, I'm going to be putting out a weekly vlog instead of a daily vlog. So my Saturday uploads for the month of December leading up to Christmas, they will be Vlogmas. I know that's a little disappointing, especially after the last 2 years. My first year in Vlogmas, I did the fundraiser and the food challenge. Last year I did the workout reviews every day. Right now I am in the throes of studying for a new certification that's very challenging, and just where December falls and where Vlogmas falls, this is going to be the month where I really do need to put my head down and study every single day. So that free time that I would have had to film and edit and upload a Vlogmas video, I made the decision I just have to be responsible and actually use that time to study. I know that's disappointing, but I feel like we have a little bit of the best of both worlds here. I also have a lot of little treats just kind of hidden throughout my uploads this month, so hopefully you guys enjoy those. I know most of you, 99% of you are going to be like, Justina, it's fine. I am just a very big proponent of consistency and making sure that I'm delivering what I've promised and what's expected of me, and it is kind of expected that I do Vlogmas, so this is the way that I can do it this year. So thank you guys for understanding. Let's talk about the day, baby. It is a Sunday, and I don't have much to do today. I don't typically I don't formally work with clients on Sundays, but since I work for myself, there's always little things I have to get done. I am filming. When does this come out? Okay, you'll have already seen some of them. I am doing little shorts every single day with this new series that actually Kevin dreamt up. So that's one of my little Vlogmas treats, my holiday treats to you guys. But I do have to film some of those. And then we're doing our workout of the day, which is Kaylee Cohen. We'll talk a little bit more about her later. And then tonight is the Eagles-Rams game. I hate late night games, when it's my team. I just have to stay up so much later. So like I said, we are going to be doing a workout from Kaylee Cohen later, and that is still going to be part of this year's Vlogmas. We're going to be rounding out, completing the full cycle of a year by doing a different workout every single day. Instead of picking them from the bowl like I did last year, I actually went ahead, I looked through what was left in the bowl, and I picked the coaches who had the most requests for me to actually try them. And then I just basically made a nice little split. I have 2 full body days, an upper, a lower, 2 recovery, and a cardio. And I've put them out on my schedule based on what my schedule is, travel plans, and what makes the most sense in terms of recovery. So that's the plan for the day. It's about 8:15. I am going to need to be by my laptop at 10 a.m. because I do have my Black Friday sale going live. By the time you're seeing this, it's over, but it's for the custom programming that I'm going to start offering. And basically, I'm doing a Black Friday sale where you get $100 off your first month, which is a pretty big discount, but Kevin talked me into it. I wanted to do 50. He was like, no, Black Friday is the biggest deals of the year. You got to do 100. And I was like, okay. Kevin says so. It's good to have outside eyes when it's just me looking at the business because, things make sense to me. Things seem good to me. But I feel like it's always good to have another set of eyes on it to be oh, actually, this makes sense and this would be a better deal and da-da-da-da. So if you actually snag one of those spots, you can say thank you to Kevin for that. Anyway, I'm just going to kind of chill, enjoy my coffee. I've been rewatching Survivor, so we're gonna go and do that for a little bit, and then we're gonna make sure we're at our laptop by 10 a.m. Okay, so I'm gonna get changed and do this workout. I actually decided I'm not gonna film that stuff today, primarily because I don't want to put on makeup. So we're just gonna move that to another day. In future Justina will deal with it. So the workout we're doing today is from Kaylee Cohen's Strength. We're doing a 30-minute full body functional strength training, no repeat, muscle for a strong life workout. Love it. Well, I actually don't love no repeat workouts, but I really want to see what she means by functional strength training. I recently made a video talking about what functional training means to me. And to me, functional training is just purposeful training. So it seems like muscle for a strong life. We're just going to be doing some heavy lifting, aiming to build some muscle mass. That's, I will say, pretty tricky if you're never repeating movements. So I'm going to assume we're going to be hitting a lot of the same movement patterns, but it's slightly different angles and variations to keep it exciting for people while also still stressing the muscle groups enough to create those muscle tears and then build up some lean muscle mass. So I'm going to get changed and we're going to do our first workout of Vlogmas, baby.
You'll have more to say about all your thoughts and worries surrounding my condition. I can't understand it, I know that it's hard. presence. You won't let it go, and I think I'm getting more indecisive by the second. You think I should talk to somebody, 'cause you've been reading about it. At the end of the day, we're never gonna talk about it. Talk about it. I give in the pressure when the weather gets cold and my fingertips are frozen. And you're falling apart over this, my faults that are out of my control. Love will set you free, but it'll hold you tight. Love will set you free, but it'll hold you tight. Love will set you free, but it'll hold you tight. Love will set you free, but it'll hold you tight. There's only so many times that you can listen to the same bad story before you lose your mind. And I've been hearing voices pushing me to tell you I've been thinking of leaving for a really long time. You think I should talk to somebody, 'cause you've been reading about it. At the end of the day, we're never gonna talk about it. Talk about it. I give in the pressure when the weather gets cold. My fingertips are frozen.
Let me first say, love her energy, love her message, love that she's cueing us. I hated every single thing about that program. I think that this is where people get confused about functional training. It was a bunch of combination exercises where maybe you were challenging the upper body, but then the lower body, it wasn't heavy enough to actually challenge that. And again, we're talking about building muscle for a strong life. You need to be able to lift heavy enough to actually build that muscle and prepare yourself for life. If you're doing a curtsy lunge with a lateral and frontal raise, it's only going to challenge your arms. It's not going to challenge your lower body enough. I also just would have structured this completely different. I do love that she did a lot of different types of exercises to target the same muscle groups, since this was no repeat. That's what we talked about. That's kind of what I expected in the beginning. But to do a squat, then a lateral squat with a press, then do it again on the other side, and then a squat to press. Like, you're working 45 seconds on, which for many of these exercises, I was getting between 15 to 22 reps. I was counting in my head. That's not, that's endurance training right there. That's muscular endurance, right? Which automatically brings the weight that you can actually lift down. So not only that, number two, you're doing all of these exercises back to back, which would be fine if you were actually taking rest. 20 seconds is not rest. So I am toasted. But I also, in my head, I'm just like, I'm gonna lose so much of my strength that I've been working for this month. Fuck. So anyway, I didn't like that. That's probably on me for picking this specific workout. But I think this is also a really good message and a reminder, and I need to remind myself right now, like, yeah, I'm probably gonna lose like a little bit of my strength this month, but it's gonna come right back. So I guess this month, everything it's probably going to be like this. So I'm going to really work on my muscular endurance. I'm going to frame it as a positive. So rest of the day, I'm going to do some meal prepping. We're going to clean the apartment, and then we're going to watch a little bit of football. So I will see you for those things.
I'm gonna ask my love to marry me on Christmas Day this year. I've got a plan, it's gonna be so lovely on Christmas Day, my dear. I'm gonna get down on one knee on Christmas Day this year. I'm gonna give my lover
Good morning, happy Monday. All right, we have a very scary, busy 2 days ahead of us. Let's chat about it really quickly. I actually got up at 7 this morning and got a little bit of studying done. Now in about 15 minutes, we're gonna do our workout of the day, which is Michelle Breeler. We're gonna be doing an upper body workout. And then it's pretty much 15-minute breaks until the end of the day. I've got an in-person client, then I have a virtual client. I have a consultation for that new offering that I just launched yesterday. Then I have a virtual client, 3 of those consultations, a little break, and then I'm teaching a full body strength for push-ups class, which is going to be in the like new and improved 4-week push-up program that's coming in February. And then I have to edit it, and then I'm going to pass out. So yesterday I definitely started getting like Sunday scaries. I'm also just, anytime I know I have a break coming up, like I'm only working 2 days this week, anytime that happens, I start to get a little bit of senioritis. So long story short, after I did my meal prepping, Kevin and I sat down and watched a little football. He had to go do a show and come back for the Eagles game. And I was like, okay, I'm going to clean the apartment when he's gone. And I didn't. So that's annoying. It is what it is. I also just want to say, like, I feel like I was crazy yesterday doing that workout. And afterwards, again, I feel like I just knew I had a very stressful week and I really wanted to move. And then just realizing that I hated everything about the workout annoyed me, because I was like, oh my God, is this what I'm going to be doing every day up until Christmas? So I apologize if it came off as harsh. I'm going to try and be a lot more positive than I was yesterday, and we will leave it at that. So what I'm going to do, I'm getting a little bit of work done really quickly, but then within the next 15 minutes I need to get changed. I'm going to do kind of just like my morning mobility routine that I typically do, because I don't really trust anyone's warm-ups, and I'm still having a little bit of issue with my scap on the right. But this workout is the 30-minute strong upper body fat burn strength training. Well, I don't love the fat burn part, I will tell you that right now. I talked about just like how misleading fat burning workouts are. I'm actually shocked to see it on a strength training video. You usually see it on like cardiovascular work, but there's no such thing as a fat burning workout. You lose fat by being in a caloric deficit. You can achieve that either through your workout. So anything, I guess, is a fat burning workout. But losing fat is going to be primarily achieved, or the most easily achieved, by adjusting your nutrition. So I don't like that branding at all, but here we are. Positive, positive, positive. Okay, let's go. We did it. Overall, loving the energy of these coaches. Like, she coached us the entire time. She actually had like a little class going on behind her, which was super fun. And I did like most of the exercises that she chose. I, once again, hated the structure. I was duped because this said it was going to be straight sets. So I was like, okay, that means we're going to be doing an exercise, I don't know, 3 sets of whatever, and then resting. And the rest was quite literally 20 seconds between sets of the exact same exercise. So like, we're doing chest pressing at the beginning. So I grab my 30s, which is also like a little light, but I'm like, okay, you know, it's a YouTube workout. The rest probably isn't going to be crazy, so I don't want to go too crazy. So we do 40 seconds of chest pressing. That's like 10 reps. And then we get 20 seconds before we just have to go right back into it. This is the reason why I say to people, workouts like this, you might like get results, whatever that means to you in the beginning, especially if you're new to strength training. But over time, you're going to plateau because you cannot lift that much if you're only taking 20 seconds of rest between the exact same exercise or muscle groups being worked. And over time, your body does need additional weight if you want to continue to grow and progress. So here's the original. Here's what I would have done. So she just did straight sets. Actually, the only thing that was kind of supersetted was the bent over row and the Arnold press, but she did like all right side and then she did all left side. But everything else was just straight sets. Here's what I would have done. I would have done the chest pressing and then done a minute of rest in between. If I'm getting underneath a barbell, I'm going to take 2 whole minutes because I'm really going to be pushing the weight. But with dumbbells, I think a minute is going to be fine. Then I would have worked into a superset of bent over rows and the overhead pressing. And I would alternate which side is working each time just so you have more rest. Like it's going to take the same amount of time anyway, so why not just switch sides? And then you can keep this 40 seconds on. Oh, it was only 15 seconds off. I thought it was 20. That's worse. But then you can keep that structure if you want the pace to be a little bit quicker without sacrificing your form or the load that you can actually move. Then another superset, hammer curls, because that's going to be your biceps, into skull crushers, that's going to be your tricep. Opposing muscle group. So as one is working, the other is resting. Then I would end it with a triset of rear delt flies. That's going to be more of your rhomboids and your rear delts or the back of your shoulders. Pec fly, so that's going to be more of your chest and it'll recruit some bicep. And then lateral raise, that's going to be more of your medial delt. And then again, you can keep the exact same structure. It's going to take literally, except for the chest pressing, it's going to add a little bit of time there, but it's going to take the exact same amount of time. So this is still going to be about a 35 minute workout. I would actually cut the whole finisher because now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 exercises. That's plenty. And then you get a really, really comprehensive upper body workout in just 30 minutes. That's what I would do differently. Again, this is just my opinion. Literally take it or leave it. Really though, aside from the structure of it, I did like the workout. I just was getting frustrated because I love chest pressing and I was so disappointed that it was struggle bus. So, it's only 9:09. I have 2 hours until my first session, basically. So I'm going to take my time, get ready, and just make sure that I'm really prepped once the day starts. So I'm going to prep for all of these consults right now. Wish me luck. Good morning. Happy Tuesday. I can't believe it's only Tuesday. This is definitely not normal or sustainable, by the way. This, if you didn't piece it together, is because I'm trying to fit every single one of my clients and all of these onboarding calls into 2 days. I don't recommend it. I actually kind of wish that I had this sale go live on actual Black Friday and not the Sunday before. You live and learn. We have to get ready for the day. Let's talk game plan. So it's almost 8 o'clock right now. I got up a little early to study. That was actually the last chapter in the book. Very exciting. Actually, what I'm gonna do, maybe today, just so it's locked in, there is a CSCS study course that I want to join that's on a Black Friday sale. It's through Dr. Matt Caruso, I think. On YouTube, he's The Movement System. It gets really good reviews. He's doing $100 off. I am just the type of person where like I do a little bit better, not just learning from a textbook. Like I need to hear it. I need to have someone kind of like talk me through it. So I think that's going to be a really good investment. Now in about 30 minutes, we're going to finally film. Remember on Sunday when I was like, I'm going to film this thing for Vlogmas? Yep, didn't do it yet. So we're going to film about 12 of those videos today. I'll film the other 12, I don't know, when we get home from this trip. Then the marathon starts, everybody. I have a virtual client at 9:45. Then I'm going to one of the fitness lounge locations to work with a client. Then I'm coming right back here. I have another consult for my new offering. Then I'm running to the other fitness lounge location to work with a client. Then I'm actually like, thank you, past Justina, for doing this. I knew, I was like, you know what? It's going to be busy. I'm already going to be at the gym. I know I'm going to have to get a workout in. Let's block out like an hour and a half and do your workout at the gym. So we're going to be doing a petite power workout today, which is from April Whitney. We'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. Then I have to go to the drugstore. You guys, I have to go to the drugstore. I also need toothpaste and wrapping paper. I have to wrap these gifts. I'm taking a lot of our gifts home for Thanksgiving because we're not going home for Christmas. So gotta get that done. Then I have 2 more virtual clients, and then we're gonna eat dinner, and I'm gonna finish up all this busy work that I have to get done. Again, this is not normal for me. It's also not sustainable for anybody. So you don't need to let me know in the comments. So let's backtrack to the workout of the day. So someone who was in the bowl of coaches a lot was April Whitney, who is a coach for petite women, so women under 5'4". She makes a lot of claims about how short women need to train differently, eat differently. I made a whole video about training for short people, and it's not much there. Like, just because you're under 5'4" doesn't mean that your glutes respond to different types of stimulus to actually achieve glute growth. You know what I'm saying? I do kind of feel like she's a person who's creating a problem that doesn't exist to sell something. Whereas I actually do think that she could appeal to short women in a completely different way, but I don't really love the way that she does it. Because there's a difference between creating a community versus creating a problem to create a community. Does that make sense? Anyway, I really actually wanted to try her petite power platform, whatever. It is $50 a month. I, up until last night, was like, all right, that's going to be the thing that you spend money on for this series of videos. But then I was like, even looking at the description, and it seems like it's like, I can get no preview of this platform. It seems like it's follow along workouts. And specifically today, I really did not want to do a follow along. I wanted to do more of a gym program because I'm going to be in a gym. So I decided not to try it out. If you've ever tried it, I would actually love to hear like what it entails. It seems like there's a lot. So anyway, I ended up last night just kind of scrolling back on her YouTube to see if she had any type of workouts. And about a year ago, she did actually post a glute workout. She had some great cueing in there, some great tips, especially like setting up different exercises. So I just wrote down everything that she did, order of operations, sets and reps, and we're going to do that today at the gym. And then later I will tell you my thoughts on it. So I'm just gonna finish up putting the face on, and then by 8:30 I want to be filming this stuff. I also need to eat breakfast in there. We'll figure it out. Let's chat right now as I'm walking. So you're going to see right off the bat, we're just going to kind of talk through this program. I kind of changed everything. I stuck to like the basis of it, but it was 5 exercises, straight sets, which I do really like. But the amount of volume there, I knew I wasn't going to have time for it. I looked at that and I went with the amount of rest I'm going to need based off of how much volume there is. This is going to take me an hour and a half. I have to be out of that gym within an hour. And that took me, I just stopped at an hour on the dot. So she started with like floor barbell bridges. To be honest, I've actually never done that before, and I was not in the headspace to try something new. So I was like, you know what? Let me just practice my trap bar deadlifts because I've been really building on those in the last program I was in. So I worked a little bit lower rep and just kind of worked more for strength. And I actually did superset the trap bar deadlifts with some single arm snatches because I've been really working on that skill and I didn't want to lose it. And it's a nice like hip extension exercise with power that can kind of work as like some contrast work. Anyway, so then she had these seated hip abductions, which she said you could either do it like a hip abduction machine or you can just like sit and do them with like a band. To be frank, I don't really know why these were in there and why they were the second exercise. Like it seems like you should either be warming up with those, or I intended to do them at a hip abduction machine because I never really do those, and do it at the end because it's a super stable exercise. so you can like really load it up. I usually like to end with the machine work rather than free weights because you need a lot less stability and you're pretty wiped at that point. I honestly just didn't get to it. So then she had Bulgarians programmed. I did do these by themselves, 3 sets of 10s. That felt really good and strong. And then she had the cable kickbacks and curtsy lunges. I did those as a superset. So I did the curtsy lunges and then I dropped the weight, went to the cable kickbacks. I actually, to be honest, I've never done cable kickbacks before and I really liked them. I wasn't really sure how much weight to use. I was just trying to work on like form and my muscle connection. So by the time I got to that, maybe it was because I added the snatches in, but like I didn't have any more time left. So I unfortunately did not get to do the hip abductions, but to be frank, that was plenty of volume for me. It's plenty of volume for glute growth, which is what this workout was. And actually I really liked it. I just think like the order of operations should be switched around a little bit, but out of the 3 workouts we've done so far in Vlogmas, this was my favorite. Is there anything petite focused about it? No, but it's a solid glute workout.
I hear the bells out, hear the bells from afar. You are the brightest one amongst all the stars. Thinking out loud, thinking over old friends. I notice now it's been a while since they left. No problem, we'll find out. For now, just leave it all behind. Don't blow my whole little world with you. Please love me.
Good morning. Happy Wednesday. It is about 7:20. Within the next 10 minutes, we're going to have to start our workout of the day, which is from the Glow method. Specifically, we're going to be doing the 20-minute yoga for stress relief, calming, slow flow. This is exactly what I need right now. Again, the last 2 days were crazy. Unfortunately, next week's going to be a little crazy too. It's fine. I originally wanted to do one of their like creative vinyasas or ladder flows because I don't really know what that means. And it looked super, super intriguing. But honestly, I changed it to this at the last minute because 1, I do not have more than 20 minutes to spare. Number 2, my body's tired. I'm actually a little bit sore from that workout yesterday, which is always fun. I've talked about it before, but being sore isn't necessarily the indicator of like a good workout, unless your goal is like to be as sore as possible. But soreness happens when you increase the intensity, change your movement patterns that you're doing, do something brand new, basically just like use your body in a different way. I'm not saying that yesterday was like a bad workout by any means. I'm just saying that soreness is not an indicator of a good workout. A good workout is one that gets you to your goals. So before we hop down on the mat, because I don't really know how much more I'm going to be able to talk to you today, this is a travel day. So by 7:30, we're going to start this workout. And then at 8 o'clock, I need to pack for our Thanksgiving trip and just tidy up the apartment a little bit because we do have a cat sitter coming in to just kind of like feed and check on Zoe tomorrow, and I don't want it to look disgusting in here. At 9 a.m. when the laundromat opens, we need to pick up our laundry, and then at 9:40, 9:45, I am going to be picking up our rental car. Toss. For those of you who don't know, I barely ever drive. I actually can't remember the last time I drove a car, so this will be an adventure. So anyway, that's the plan, and then basically we're going to be going down to Kevin's parents' house, visiting with them, and then we're going to continue the trip down to Cape May, where we are going to stay overnight, and then on Thanksgiving morning, my family hosts and runs a turkey trot. We'll talk more about that at a later time, but I'm going to continue to drink my coffee, and we will meet on the floor. morning. So it is Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. And we are in Cape May. We're gonna head just an island up to Wildwood Crest, and we are going to run a 5K. That's actually gonna be my workout of the day. I know I said I was gonna pick a different coach from the bowl, but it's Thanksgiving, it's a holiday. I think we all get it. My family does run a turkey trot every Thanksgiving for the past 4 years. If you've been around for a long time, you know the story. If you don't, I don't feel like explaining it. To be honest, I slept like shit last night. I feel like this happens every other year for the 5K. I also have not run since last year's 5K. But that's what I did last year too, and I was like perfectly fine. Like my calves were just a little sore the day before, or the day after. So we're gonna hope that is the same thing that happens. Unfortunately, it's gonna be raining, so I had to bring my like more waterproof sneakers, and we're just gonna hope for the best. I'm not hoping for a good time at all. I'm just hoping to finish and not feel like shit tomorrow. So after that, we then go to this place called Mud Hen. Then we'll come back here, get changed, and we're gonna go to my aunt and uncle's for dinner. So I will take as many clips as I can along the way. Obviously, again, it's a holiday, so that's gonna be kind of my main priority. So if we do not chat, I will talk with you again tomorrow as we're driving home.
Lazy Sunday mornings, hiding under covers. I don't mind staying in with you. Play your favorite movie, laying right beside me. I don't mind when it's just us two. That corner coffee shop we like to go. Late night walks with you to take me home. With you I never feel alone.
These little songs make me glad to call.
We're back. I feel like you're really far away. It's fine. We literally just dropped off the zip car. We got back in the apartment, and then I just pet Zoe for like 10 minutes. And now I'm gonna knock out the workout of the day. So today we're actually doing yoga by Adrian, yoga with Adrian. We're doing, I forgot what it's called, but I'll pop it up on the screen. It's basically like yoga for your calves. So I picked this one because I was like, oh, you'll have just run a 5K the day before. So your calves are definitely going to be feeling it. I actually feel pretty good today. Let's recap the race really quick because I realized we didn't talk about it. It did rain the entire time. It wasn't as bad as I thought it would be, but it was definitely not like an enjoyable run. Like it was raining. Luckily, my uncle had some extra ponchos, so Kevin and I wore those. But honestly, I remember last year when I ran the 5K cold, like didn't really run at all beforehand. My calves were super sore for the next like 3 days, but otherwise I felt okay. My calves felt a little sore. Yesterday though, the outside of my knee was super sore, but I'm gonna attribute that to the fact that my left ankle, this just happens when it's cold or the weather's weird. I've talked about it before, but like I had surgery on that ankle when I was younger, and it just gets super, super stiff. And it quite literally, like a mile in, I was like, oh my God, I feel like my foot is a brick. Like just feeling the difference in like mobility side to side, that was pretty rough. Aside from that though, like today, the knee pain is gone. I think that was just like showing up there from the ankle. Calves are a little sore. My obliques are actually a little bit sore. After the 5K, we go to this place called Mud Hen, which is kind of like, it's not like a brewery, but it's got like beer garden type vibes. Then we went back to the hotel, took a sick nap, watched the Bears coach shit the bed at the end of that game, went to my aunt and uncle's house, had dinner with like 40 family members, played a wild game of Pictionary, and then drove back this morning. So all in all, very fun, very jam-packed Thanksgiving, but I wouldn't have it any other way. So we're gonna go do this yoga workout, and then I actually have, oh my God, I have so much like back end work to do. So great. Let's go move our body first. Oh, that was lovely. I feel like it's always a little unfair when I'm talking about like Pilates or yoga or just these methods that I don't really do very often and also I'm not super knowledgeable in. But that was absolutely lovely. And Zoe usually does not do a very good job when she is near me on the floor. She gets very defensive, like the floor is her place, but she did not attack me, so I'm very proud of her. So anyway, I absolutely love that. I've also done yoga with Adrienne on and off for years, like 10 plus years. And I just really like her vibe. It's very like meet you where you're at, chill. In terms of like the actual yoga practice, again, I know nothing about that, but definitely always feel better after doing her flows. I'm going to jump right into just a ton of administrative work, so I will probably not talk to you again until tomorrow where we have another full body strength day, so we'll chat about that then. Good morning. Wow. I don't even understand how I got so backed up in work. Okay, so let's just chat about the day, and we're just gonna like ignore the fact that this is an insane amount of work that I don't understand how I got behind on. I think it's just the holidays like lining up in a certain way. It's fine. It's fine. It's all gonna be fine. My apologies that this whole first week vlog is just me bitching about how much work I have to get done. We're gonna try and change that for next week's vlog. But in all seriousness, this is like not normal, the amount of work that I'm doing and cramming it in like a short amount of time, which is also why I'm complaining about it so much, because this isn't how I normally am. Anyway, it is 10:30 a.m., so it's time to do our workout, but I spent the last 2.5 hours building out the new program that drops on Monday in the Fit Club, the 8-week build program. There's a gym version, there's a home version. It's a hypertrophy focused program with like a functional element kind of sprinkled on top, which all that really means, because functional doesn't really mean anything, that really just means that I add in some different power elements, some plyometric elements, moving in different planes of motion, different speed, different tempos. So it's not just like straight strength sets and like kind of boring. There's boring parts to it, but I basically just tried to make it a little bit more well-rounded to A, keep people, you know, invested in the program, but B, make it so that you do get those like visible muscle gains while still being able to like move well through daily life. So that's the goal. I also had my final dedicated workout review video go live at 9. Thank you to everybody who's just like, yeah, sounds good. So today we are doing a Tiff and Dan workout, which we'll talk about in a second. Then I need to edit next month's TikTok roundup, which will have already come out. So special guest on there if you haven't watched it yet. Then I need to clean the apartment because I didn't do it last week. And I'm gonna put up the Christmas tree so Kevin and I can decorate it tomorrow. And then I'm gonna start editing this vlog. You see what I mean? How did this happen? It also does suck because next week is gonna be really busy too, but I know why that happened. So we'll talk about that in next week's vlog. All right, let's talk about the workout today. It is a full body strength day, baby. And we are doing a 30-minute full body workout at home with dumbbells and abs. I know nothing about Tiff and Dan. If I had to guess, they seem like a married couple. I did take a peek at the workout details below. It seems like we're working in supersets for the most part, which love that. And they did note that we're taking 30 seconds rest. Honestly, as long as your supersets are like well thought out, like I'm gonna not look at, they have the exercises listed, I'm gonna stay surprised, but like as long as your exercises are well thought out, like you're doing opposing muscle groups, you can absolutely get away with just like 30 seconds rest with strength work. But again, you just have to be strategic about it. So if we're doing like Bulgarians directly into reverse lunges, well, we're basically working the same muscle group. So we would want more than 30 seconds rest, because otherwise you're going to be too gassed to keep the weights in more of that strength realm with proper form. So you'd want to do like Bulgarians with like, I don't know, a bent over row or an overhead press or something that is upper body, right? Because then you can take 30 seconds rest because you've already been resting that muscle group while the opposing muscle group is working. Does that make sense? I'm procrastinating now. Let's do this workout.
3, 1, 2. I love it. Let's go.
was stupid. Okay. Look, I actually didn't really hate like the drills that we did. Just the format makes no sense. I'm actually looking right now. It doesn't really say anything about like what you're trying to do with the workout. It just is full body workout. So my bad, I assumed like more strength based because this was definitely more like endurance focused. But even if I was programming, like if a lot of my clients have endurance goals, I wouldn't program like this. Only because while the volume really isn't that much, there's a lot of exercises, like too many exercises in my opinion, but the volume actually isn't that much. It's just that you're so gassed because you have no recovery time. I see nothing that explains what this workout is supposed to accomplish, which tells me they're probably just trying to make you tired and fatigued, and I don't like when people program that way. So anyway, here's the original workout. You saw that. Again, it's so many exercises, and it did exactly the thing that I don't like, where you're putting two of the same basically movement pattern back to back, and it just keeps you from being able, and look, I'm not saying you need to lift as heavy as possible for every workout, but like she was showing with 8 and 10 pound dumbbells, I think, all of the lower body stuff, even if you're working for endurance, like you should be lifting heavier than that. If you're a woman, especially. I've talked a lot about bone density and the importance of that as we age. And, you know, unless you're an absolute beginner, 8 pounds or 10 pounds for like RDLs is not nearly enough. So here's what I would have done. To keep kind of this idea of like full body with abs, I would actually work in trisets where I would do a lower body, an upper body, and then more of an ab focused exercise. I would have started with the sumo deadlifts. The only reason I chose those instead of the RDLs is because I love a sumo deadlift, but I guess we could put RDLs here too, but basically like a hip dominant movement. And then they did L-sit. I prefer Z-sit presses or Z presses. I just think it works your hip mobility a little bit more strategically, and I find that people get a little bit more planted. They resist like rounding in their lumbar spine. So you're working lower body posterior chain, then you're working more of the shoulder complex, and then I would go into the high crunches. And what's nice about this, you could do 45 seconds, 45 seconds, 45 seconds. Then I would actually take an entire minute. I would take more than 30 seconds rest, but you're actually already cutting out a lot of the time in this workout already. So for the second block or tricep, I would then go into the heel elevated squats. Then I would do the bent over rows, then the leg lowers. Strategically, now we're working more of the anterior chain with the front racked squats, quad dominant, heels are elevated, so it's very anterior biased. Then bent over rows. Now we're working more of the upper body and the posterior chain. Now leg lowers. Finally, to get a little unilateral work for the lower body, we would do the front foot elevated reverse lunges. Then we're gonna work into a dumbbell chest fly. And then I guess just to get in something a little bit more like heart rate up, we could do those makers. I didn't really understand what I was supposed to be doing there though. So I don't know, insert anything at the end. Yeah, so that's what I would do to revise this workout. As always, is my say the end all be all? No, this is just how I would train. And I just think it's way too many exercises. The volume wasn't even that high. It was just that you had no time to recover. And it was really just like getting you tired. And I don't want to train to be tired. I want to train to be stronger or more mobile or able to push myself longer. And that just made me sleepy. Anyway, we're going to move into editing this TikTok video now. We're about 15 minutes behind. We've got to get a move on. So I'm going to go do that. Goodbye.